Well, good Saturday morning, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland, Michigan. I hope your Saturday is off to a fantastic start. Michigan, here, we're saying this in April. I've been on Record Store Day excursions before we opened the store where it's been 85 degrees, and this morning we had snow. So we're still 2 weeks out, but hang tough. And you know what? It'll get here. So hopefully your day's off to a good start. A little cloudy, little sunshine this morning. There were some flurries in the air when I left. So you never know what's going to happen. We have got, by the way, just a lot of stuff to cover. So keep me on track here. I don't want to dawdle too much, but let's say a few quick good mornings as I reach over here. Good morning from Toledo. Hi, Betty. Thank you for being here. Gary as well. Good morning to you. Pat is saying good morning all the way. It is a good day to hunker down and play some great music. Of course it is. And Jeff, good morning to you. Enjoying. Oh yeah, Jeff picked up some $1 records from the well-loved bin, which is still out there. Remind me, and we'll talk about that a little bit later if I have time. Chuck is saying good morning. Good morning, sir. Thanks for being here. As well as Dan, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. So right off the bat, before I get into the news of Record Store Day and all of the other goodies, some news came across last night that, kind of big for us folks here in the mid-Michigan area. Love them, hate them, whatever you want to do. Greta Van Fleet has announced a brand new album due out in July later on this year. Now, this album, let me get over to my notes here because I read it wrong. I thought it was something else. But Greta Van Fleet has announced their brand new album entitled Starcatcher, and they have released the first single on that. So the details of this new album, Starcatcher, along with the project's first single, Meeting the Master, have been announced. That was just yesterday. A 10-track LP will be released on July 31st. Now, I'll have a lot more information on the release of this brand new Greta Van Fleet coming up a little bit later on today in our new release video, the one we do toward the mid to late afternoon here when I get a little time to do that. But we will announce this. Not certain if that is the album cover, but that is the artwork that is on the Greta Van Fleet website. And it looks like there's going to be some sort of indie exclusive colored vinyl version. Again, just kind of a mock-up coming from their website is what we're seeing right now. So we'll have more details as this goes on, but I'll have some more details on the announcement later on today on our new release video. So make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and stick around for that. By the way, I did give that single a listen. And you know how in kind of mid-career Led Zeppelin had that Middle Eastern influence? I'll leave it there. Hey, speaking of Zeppelin, by the way, on the news article I read about the announcement of the new Greta Van Fleet, they said that they're re-kicking their tour off again shortly here, including sharing a bill with Robert Plant. So Greta Van Fleet and Robert Plant playing in the same show should be tremendously interesting. So stick around for more details on all of that as we get a little bit closer. So Record Store Day, as I mentioned earlier, is just now 2 weeks away. Is it 2 weeks? Hold on here. I can't be trusted. So holy cow, it is 2 weeks from today. Wow. All right. So that being said, we are plowing full ahead with all of our Record Store Day planning here at the store. The first of the Record Store Day vinyl started showing up yesterday. We got one shipment. Looks like it, I'm trying to count here. It's probably about 60 or 70 records. We're expecting a lot more. So far, it looks like we're going to be doing pretty good on the fulfillment of the requests that we put in. So we'll know more as this gets a lot closer. So make sure you're staying tuned to all of our socials and our YouTube. As we get closer, we'll make sure you guys know exactly what we've got and how much of what we've got, because it looks like it's going to be just a fantastic one as we get closer to that big day. Now, on the day proper, one of the things that you may not have noticed on our poster is a logo for our friends over at Party Fam, Andy and the good folks at the DJ service. We've worked with them before in a couple of different things, but Andy will be here midday on Saturday the 22nd, DJing from 11 to 2 here at the store. And during that time, we have got a whole slew of great stuff planned for you guys. So even if you're here early in the morning for your Record Store Day exclusives, you're going to want to come back because we're going to time a whole bunch of great giveaways with the Party Fam performance, the visit here in the afternoon from 11 to 2. That includes some giveaways from some very fine local businesses that have stepped up and given us some stuff. I'll announce all of these specifically next Saturday in our live. We'll tell you because I'm still rounding up a few things. But so far, we have got some cool stuff from Irish's Barbershop. It's where I get my work done. And Proper Taco, including just a phenomenal gift card from Proper Taco. But T-shirts and all sorts of stuff. We're going to throw in some Groove Washer record cleaning gear to give away that afternoon as well. So make sure that you are marking off your calendar for the entire Record Store Day because it is going to be a day-long celebration here at the store. So Party Fam and Andy will be spinning vinyl live from 11 to 2. And then the rest of the day, we'll have all of our great Record Store Day exclusives and stuff happening. So once again, make sure you're staying tuned to our YouTube channel and Facebook and Instagram, and we'll get all those details out. Now, some of the giveaways earlier in the morning, our swag bag showed up from the Record Store Day folks proper. And every year they have a design of a bag, a record bag that they like to give away. And this year's is a pretty simplistic little design. On the back, it says this yellow for a reason, even though Metallica is not a Record Store Day release. That one is coming out next week with a brand new 72 Seasons. The Record Store Day bag is nice and yellow with a cool logo and the date on it this year. These will be given away with Record Store Day purchases the morning of RSD while supplies last. And while supplies last means we don't have a heck of a lot of them, but we'll give them out to those that purchase Record Store Day items. And also, we have got the new Dogfish Head beer poster, the official poster for Record Store Day. Let me kick that over here. These also will be given out while supplies last. I know a lot of you folks collect the Dogfish Head stuff. We do as well, hanging them up here in the store. Not the bees, not the bees. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. So while supplies last on the bags and the posters, we've also got the official Record Store Day ambassador pins for those that collect those. Lots of good stuff. Holy cow. And we'll try to run all that stuff down next Saturday. I'll get all of that in the live. We'll have our local giveaways in there and ready to go as well. Okay, one other big thing is the Easter hours. We're open today, obviously. I'll be here from 10 to 6 Saturday. And we will be open on Easter Sunday tomorrow from 12 noon till 5, our regular hours. We're going to record the podcast with our friend Steve Carlson and then be open for the day proper. So if you're planning to be out and about, you've got some friends or family in visiting for the holiday and you want to come dig through some crates of vinyl, please feel free to do so. We will be here for our normal business hours throughout. So let me check here. I think we have got most of that stuff covered. Holy cow, I told you this was a lot. I think I'm keeping up on it very, very well here. So a couple more good mornings. Let's toss in there and saying happy Saturday as well. Rick on the west side, greetings from GR, and Jeff chiming in, cool bag and poster. I couldn't agree more. I think it is. The Metallica colors, the 72 Seasons, the new Metallica is due next Friday on our new releases. So make sure that you are still watching our stuff. Looks like we're going to do pretty good with the Metallica we're getting. I've heard it's going to be rationed a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Check out our channel as well, because our good friends over at Artificial Intelligence looks like they're putting together a review of the new Metallica album. So we'll have that one out and ready to go. Speaking of Steve, good morning. And he's excited that we'll be open on Easter. Looking forward to Easter vinyl hunt. Okay, well, we'll have a copy of Handel's Messiah playing. And I think we sold the Jesus Christ Superstar, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, onward. We did get pretty busy yesterday, so a lot of the new releases have been scarfed up. I'll try to restock them for next week if that's something in particular we're looking for from the video yesterday. Let me know from the drop video. But what we still do have is some cool stuff. Hey, speaking of Zeppelin, this is Dred Zeppelin. These guys have been around for a long time. I've had a copy of some of their earlier work in my personal collection since the 90s. If you are unfamiliar with what Dred Zeppelin is, well, it is a reggae-infused Led Zeppelin cover band fronted by an Elvis impersonator. And that may sound a little silly, but that's exactly what it is. I cannot get more descriptive than that. So if you've ever wanted to hear an Elvis Presley impersonator sing reggae versions of Led Zeppelin music, this is the fun record for you. And I'll tell you what, it is a fun record. One of my favorite tunes on here, by the way, is a cover of Zeppelin's Heartbreaker, reggae style, the music of Heartbreaker with the lyrics of Heartbreak Hotel sung by the Elvis impersonator toward Elvis. All right, gotta love it. Okay, also new yesterday, we got a copy of the Beat Farmers reissue of their college radio album from the 80s, Van Gogh. Very interesting one. Chuck had to help me with some background information on this. This is technically a group called Hollywood Rose, but it's the roots of Guns N' Roses. So it's before Slash was in on this, and it actually had on here Izzy Stradlin, Axl Rose, Johnny Crees, and features some stuff from Tracy Guns, who was with Axl and Izzy before leaving and forming LA Guns, and Hollywood Rose became Guns N' Roses because of that, but then left. I get my history mixed up. Chuck's the guy to go to on this, but Hollywood Rose, the roots of Guns N' Roses, these are early demo versions of stuff. So if you're a history buff on GNR, you might want to check that out. We got a couple of those in stock. Reissue of the Plasmatics, Vice Squad recording, speaking of early demos and such, 1978 and 79. So Vice Squad Records was the label that created the Plasmatics. And so these looks like some early stuff from them demo-wise. Reissue of Spicks and Specks from the Bee Gees, some pre-disco Bee Gees, late 60s as well. So some cool stuff there. And I've been seeing pop up on the Record Club page here and there on Facebook. This is a gentleman by the name of Anthony Gomes. He is a Toronto, Ontario blues musician. And this is his latest album, High Voltage Blues. Haven't listened to it yet. It's on my to-do list. We'll get to it. But we do have a copy of this in store for those of you that are familiar. Limited print, opaque orange and yellow swirl vinyl, includes a poster. So hopefully this is some really cool blues, getting some good buzz from the folks in the Michigan Record Club Facebook page. So check that out if you will. And finally, speaking of Greta Van Fleet, the news from earlier, we do have a restock of From the Fires. And I had a couple of the Battle at Gardens Gate, their most recent one. The other one, Anthem of the Peaceful Army, is on back order, and Gardens Gate is back on back order. We're getting these, and quite frankly, they're going out the door almost as quickly as we're getting them. So again, love them or hate them on Greta Van Fleet. That speaks to the staying power of a band like that now that they're getting on the scene. Good morning, Tom. Thank you for being here, and saying thank you to Blue for the treats. Blue, our dog, record store dog, a dock jumping dog, competed 2 weeks ago, and won some goodies in a swag bag. We shared those, and you are most welcome. And toward Elvis, indeed, sir. So, okay, looking at the time, I think we are up on it. The well-loved crates are still out there. A lot of great classic rock and some great stuff in there, classic rock-wise, for $1 a piece. I don't feel like cataloging them. Some are pretty beat up, though, but others would be in the $2 to $3 range otherwise. We just need to make room for the Record Store Day stuff coming in. So stop on over and check that out when you get a chance. Don't forget to check out our new release video coming up later on this afternoon. Don't forget to listen to the podcast with our good friend Steve Carlson on our YouTube channel and on Podbean as well. And then don't forget, coming up later on, as I'm looking over here, coming up later on today, we'll have some more information on that new Greta Van Fleet album announced for release in mid-July. So make sure you're sticking around and or are subscribed for all of that happening here. And then again, do not forget, coming up 2 weeks from today, Record Store Day, there will be a lot of content between now and then as far as what we've got in stock and what we're doing as far as giveaways. And don't forget the live broadcast like this one, the live broadcast Friday night, the night before, on April 21st. We'll cover everything we've got going on in the store. So with that, I am going to get the turntable spinning and the lava lamps rolling. The doors opened up and the lights turned on here to get on with our day. Open today, Saturday, from now until 6 p.m. And then tomorrow, Easter Sunday, yes, we will be open per normal hours from 12 noon until 5. So until next week, take a deep breath, guys. We will talk to you next time from the Wasteland. Thanks so much for being here. Have a good one.